Yo, it's day 13 of No Not November. How's the challenge going for you? Wait, it's November? So, it's the middle of the No Not November, and some of you watching have already failed it, some of you are still going, and some of you didn't even know that a month dedicated to not jerking off existed.
You got anyone nuts?
Well, I'm guessing some of you know what NoFap is as well, but if you don't, NoFap is an online movement that encourages people to give up pornography and masturbation. Yeah, people are actually out there doing the No Not November challenge beyond November. My older subscribers know that I pretty much started out on YouTube and on my improvement journey by beginning NoFap. I have way too much content surrounding it, and as someone who has practiced it a lot and learned a lot about what it is, I'm here to tell you that doing NoFap beyond the constraints of a short-term challenge is just not worth it. Let me just say that I will never go against the NoFap's encouragement for men, especially young men, to begin quitting pornography and just stop jerking off every second. Nowadays, a lot of young guys grow up with pornography that's available everywhere and at any time, and are also told by society that it's okay to watch porn. Well, it isn't. They grow up and are growing up in this simulation of comfort, video games, porn, junk food, and so on, and never open their eyes to what life truly has to offer. And that's the one thing I really like about NoFap, is that if you've never heard of it, it makes you think like, people are voluntarily avoiding this extreme pleasure. There must be something about it then. It pushes you to perhaps try it and find out that there's much more to life than just comfort. However, if you only know about the No Not November challenge from memes on the internet and you yourself don't take it seriously, you don't ponder about why there would be a challenge of not masturbating in the first place, then when the month is over, you will just get back to your old habits and degrade your mind again. Look, the main thing I want to say is that I discovered that masturbation every now and then without pornography is actually okay and beneficial for you, and when the No Not November challenge is over, I would suggest quitting porn entirely but keeping masturbation in your life if you don't have a partner. I will explain why shortly, but I really want to emphasize that pornography, I believe, is a huge problem for men as a whole. Tell me, what part of this following scenario is realistic and normal? You get horny, you take out your phone or you turn on your computer, you go to the incognito mode, you click on the porn website, and you are instantly greeted by all these different scenarios of what might interest you. You can search for what you want, browse categories for what you want, you can find and watch pretty much any scenario you can imagine, plus you can pause, fast forward, rewind, click on another video. You see how all of this is so ridiculous and doesn't represent reality, not in the slightest. You are completely tricking your brain and overdosing on pleasure, and since you can't repeat this level of control and fantasy in reality, your brain will make you crave to watch more and more porn, and it can get to the point where you can't perform sexually with a real-life partner, or you lose motivation to seek one entirely. This is the dark side of pornography, and I hope I convince you to at least look at how many porn sessions you have per day and to perhaps limit it or quit it. But now let's get into why I think you should quit pornography, but not masturbation just by itself. Anybody who's done NoFap will understand what I'm talking about here. If you have lived your life on autopilot in comfort, suddenly beginning to do something more difficult and beneficial will strike you like nothing else. This is called tasting life's meaning, tasting something more that is out there. The first week or two of doing NoFap, you might feel extremely good because you are disciplining yourself, and that can give motivation that you are not as lost in life as you might thought at first. However, when you are improving in other areas of your life, like working out, eating healthy, being in a relationship, working on something meaningful, etc., NoFap becomes something less significant. When you are like a zombie watching pornography every day multiple times and masturbating, not doing that for a little bit lets your brain recover and clear some fog, but once you get out of this first step and you are improving in other areas of your life, NoFap becomes more of a hindrance. If you are a man who regularly works out, you might experience this little hormone called testosterone. This thing makes you feel horny all the time. When you are doing NoFap for a longer period of time than just 1 week, let's say, you begin to be in a state of being tense all the time. You won't be able to focus well on your work or other things because you will just feel horny. This is the moment where I think it's okay to just masturbate without porn, release that tension, and go on improving. If you don't, you'll actually start to degrade more. You will become moody, less able to focus, unmotivated, and just searching for other pleasurable activities to take your mind off it. Actually, your body will release this tension in the form of wet dreams, which means when you orgasm in your sleep, and that's proof that your own body doesn't crave it but needs it. I know that a lot of NoFap veterans will disagree with me on this, and they might claim that NoFap changed their lives and that you should never give it up. In reality, it's not NoFap that changed your life. Sure, I agree that starting doing NoFap when you don't have much going in your life can begin showing you that life is not about chasing the next comfortable thing, and there are other things like patience and discipline, but people who start doing NoFap quickly begin adopting other self-improvement practices, like, again, repeating, working out, eating more healthy, and doing some meaningful work. These latter things are responsible for you feeling miles better than before, and not some practice of not watching Mia Khalifa for a month. NoFap is okay as a challenge, but not okay when you base your life around it. A lot of people, including me in the past, take NoFap too seriously. Whilst in some ways it's necessary to just accept when you have a problem and begin fixing it, when you have actually fixed it, it's time for the next step. The next step for NoFap after you have tried doing it as a challenge is to recognize the dangers of pornography and just begin masturbating whenever you feel horny and just live your life. You don't need to think that you failed the challenge or that you are worthless because you masturbated one time, but just make a deal with yourself to stop consuming porn and let yourself release every once in a while. Sure, if you masturbate like 5 times per day, that's not good, but find a healthy balance for yourself. Just think about whether you are actually horny and need to release tension, or you are just bored. Congratulations, we reached the goal from the last video of trying to get 5% of all my viewers to subscribe, and now we are on 5.6%. Let's get to 6% this time, and I know we can do this. So subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment down below about what do you think about NoFap or No Nut November. What do you think about these things? I consider NoFap to be the entry self-improvement practice, and it's not the most important thing you should be doing. So if you want a blueprint on how to start living and improving your life, watch this video. If you can and want, please support this channel on PayPal, and if you want to get an exclusive membership to our Discord, consider supporting this channel on Patreon. Everything you want to find is gonna be in the description down below, but with all of that said, thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, meaning is always above pleasure.